pHix, from the gut to the brain, the vagus nerve connection. My name is David, and I am an independent sales representative with Marketplace Global. I want to introduce you to a fascinating product called pHix. But rather than simply telling you what pHix is, I want to help you understand the idea behind it. Because once you understand how closely your gut, brain, nervous system, metabolism, mood, and sleep are connected, the story becomes much more interesting. pHix is designed to support 4 important areas. First, metabolism and healthy weight management. Second, focus and cognitive function. Third, mood and emotional well-being. Fourth, relaxation and restful sleep. At first glance, these may sound like 4 completely different things. What does body fat have to do with your brain? What does your gut have to do with your mood? And what does any of this have to do with sleep? The answer brings us to one of the most fascinating communication systems in the human body, the vagus nerve. The word vagus comes from a Latin word meaning wandering, and that's a very appropriate name. The vagus nerve begins in the brainstem and travels down through the neck, connecting with important organs including the heart, lungs, and digestive system. Think of it as an internal communication superhighway. And importantly, communication isn't simply traveling from the brain downward. A great deal of information is also traveling from the body back to the brain. Your gut is constantly communicating with your brain. Your brain is constantly responding to signals coming from your body. This is part of what we call the gut-brain connection. And this is where pHix becomes interesting. What is pHix? pHix contains compounds derived from matured hops. Most people hear the word hops and immediately think about beer. But hops are plants containing many naturally occurring compounds, and researchers have studied hop-derived compounds for potential physiological effects. pHix focuses on matured hop bitter acids. These compounds can interact with receptors in the gastrointestinal system. And that brings us back to our communication superhighway, the vagus nerve. Imagine that you have just eaten a large meal. Your stomach and intestines don't telephone your brain and say, "David has eaten enough, please tell him to stop." Instead, your digestive system produces biological signals. Those signals become part of the body's appetite and satiety communication system. The gut and brain communicate through several pathways, including hormones, nerves, and the vagus nerve. This is important because hunger isn't simply about willpower. Your brain and digestive system are constantly communicating about hunger, fullness, and energy. Research on matured hop bitter acids has investigated their influence on gastrointestinal signaling. So rather than thinking of pHix as something that simply fills your stomach, think about it as supporting biological pathways involved in natural communication systems. Benefit number 1, metabolism and weight management. Now let me explain another fascinating part of the story. Not all body fat behaves in exactly the same way. For simplicity, let's talk about 3 important categories. Subcutaneous fat. This is the fat stored underneath your skin. It is one of the ways the body stores excess energy. Visceral fat. This is the deeper fat surrounding internal organs. Too much visceral fat is associated with metabolic problems, including insulin resistance and increased cardiovascular risk. This is why reducing excess visceral fat through healthy lifestyle changes is important. And then we have something very interesting: brown adipose tissue or brown fat. Unlike ordinary energy-storing fat, brown fat can use energy to produce heat. Unlike ordinary fat, brown fat is a powerful metabolic furnace. It uses energy to produce heat, effectively burning away that harmful visceral fat through a process called thermogenesis. Research into matured hop bitter acids investigates how these compounds can activate brown fat, helping to accelerate the burning of visceral fat and support healthy metabolism. This is why pHix is positioned as a product that can support metabolism and healthy weight management, alongside appropriate nutrition and physical activity. And that last point is important. pHix is not a replacement for healthy eating and exercise. Think of it as supporting the body's natural processes, not replacing them. Benefit number 2, focus and cognitive function. Now let's travel back up our communication highway. Gut, vagus nerve, brain. The brain and digestive system are in constant two-way communication. When the body is under chronic stress, mentally exhausted, or metabolically unhealthy, our ability to concentrate and perform mentally can suffer. Hop compounds also contain plant constituents studied for antioxidant and neurological effects. The second area pHix is intended to support is focus, attention, and cognitive function. I like to describe this simply as a clearer mind for the demands of everyday life. The third benefit is mood support. Again, think about the gut-brain connection. Most of us have experienced this personally. When you're extremely nervous, where do you sometimes feel it? In your stomach. When you're under tremendous stress, your appetite changes. And when you're exhausted and haven't slept properly, your mood changes too. Why? Because the human body isn't independent systems. The brain, nervous system, digestive system, hormones and metabolism interact continuously. Hop-derived compounds support relaxation and a positive mental state. And that brings us naturally to our fourth area, sleep. Hops have a long history of traditional use for their calming properties. At night, we want our body to transition away from the demands of the day into a state conducive to rest. But sometimes the mind continues racing. What do I have to do tomorrow? Did I remember that email? What about that customer? The body is in bed, but the brain is still in the office. pHix supports relaxation and better sleep quality rather than acting as a heavy sedative. And better sleep matters far beyond simply feeling rested. Quality sleep supports performance, mood, and health. So now let's put everything together. At the beginning, I gave you 4 benefits: metabolism, focus, mood, sleep. They looked like separate subjects, but the human body is interconnected. Your gut, brain, and nervous system interact continuously. The vagus nerve is the link in this network. What excites me about pHix is the concept, working with the body's own biological systems. Matured hop bitter acids interact with pathways related to gut signaling and metabolism. MPG has taken that science and developed pHix into something practical that people can incorporate into their daily lives. Now please take a moment to remember these 4 important words. Burn, supporting metabolism and healthy weight management. Think, supporting focus and cognitive function. Feel, supporting mood and emotional well-being. Sleep, supporting relaxation and restful sleep. Burn, think, feel, sleep. Connecting much of our discussion tonight is the gut-brain connection and the vagus nerve. The human body was wonderfully designed as an interconnected system. pHix is about supporting that system rather than looking at one part in isolation. Support your entire body with pHix. You can purchase pHix at marketplaceglobal.com/David Wong. Please like and share if you find this beneficial.